take it to the next level, get some fresh ideas and bounce ideas off one another, turned into a position. I was there to teach them, but I actually was the student because they taught me quite a bit about really grasping, you know.
Yes. Yeah, that's enough.
Hello and welcome to Business Insight. I'm your host, Ruben Ramos. Do you feel as if you are your own worst enemy? As if life isn't tough enough, we sometimes make decisions that make it even tougher. We all make mistakes that create storms, and we do face them from time to time. Being married to the wrong person, wrong career choices, and bad investments are just some examples. We all been there, and we've made storms of our own creation. There are times in which we have to face these storms of our own creation, and nevertheless, we are here with Kimberly Daye, who joins me as we discuss overcoming life storms, as well as discussing a special event in Orlando, Florida this coming October. Welcome to the show, Kimberly.
Thank you for having me, Ruben. Such a pleasure to be here.
Well, the pleasure is all mine, Kimberly. Before we get into your background and the special event in Orlando, Florida, please tell us why is it so difficult for individuals to overcome these life storms?
Well, that's a great question, and it's a topic that often comes up not only as I'm working with clients, but just in discussion. There's a lot of things going on in our society these days, difficult things that people probably have not normally have to deal with. I actually looked up the definition of storm. We know what they are, but I was curious to really see exactly what is a storm. And it was interesting to find that a storm is an unnatural or an abnormal occurrence, something that takes us away from the norm. And it tends to manifest as rain, snow, sleet, hail. But if we look at the parallels in our lives, it shows up as many of the things that you mentioned: a bad decision, a poor choice, perhaps marrying the wrong person, or some other situation or circumstance that we've allowed ourselves to enter into. So when we talk about overcoming life storms, it's difficult for some people because it's usually out of the blue sometimes. Oftentimes it's unanticipated, and then even when the storm is anticipated, it's still difficult to overcome. So really getting a handle around how to deal with storms, especially when you didn't know they were coming, is extremely difficult for people.
Kimberly, have you ever experienced storms yourself, and how did you overcome them personally?
Well, it's an interesting question because just by virtue of its definition, storms are inevitable, which means that they are going to happen, period. And yes, I've experienced my fair share of life storms. I think back to some of the decisions that I've made, choices that I've made. One in particular is a choice where I was working in an environment which was very, very difficult. And I allowed myself to lose focus of not only why I was there, but really lose focus of all of the things around me. As a result, my health took an impact. My finances were impacted by it, time spent with family, and a host of other things. And so I had to make a decision, and some might call it a non-negotiable decision, to say that I'm not going to continue on that path. I'm going to choose a different way because I know better. I have supports. I've experienced what it's like to live differently. And so really making a decision to start my own company was as a result of life storms, where I said, you know what, it's time to take a different approach, a different path, and actually do what I'm encouraging other people to do, which is walk in their purpose, which is choose to live the life of their dreams, which is to put the metal to the road, or the rubber, where the rubber meets the road, and actually do something, be the change, make the difference, all of the wonderful slogans that we hear, but to be a person of action and to actually proceed with doing it. So all of that came as a result of life storms. And as crazy as this may sound, I wouldn't change a bit of it. because I believe that if I hadn't had some of those experiences, the passion wouldn't have been there. The understanding of what some of my clients deal with would not have been there. Really understanding, you know, what it's like to really just be creative and go in a different direction wouldn't not have been there. Working with limited sources to create something beautiful would not have been there. So I'm grateful for those life storms.
Yes, that is a remarkable transition that you did, Kimberly, going to a completely different path. I'm kind of interested. Tell us about your background.
Well, one of the things that I always share with, whether I'm speaking with women or youth, is that I define myself as a woman of purpose. I come from a strong family of educators, of hard workers, and I always learned the importance of not only completing a task, but finishing it. So I've had the wonderful opportunity of working in leadership opportunities, managing, supervising, mentoring. I've also had the opportunity of working very closely with youth and young people, really pouring back into them the same things that was given to me. My parents really afforded me the opportunity to receive an education. So I have a bachelor's degree, and I went on to later obtain my master's degree in education. And I've used all of those experiences along with my personal experiences, along with a host of other things that I've just been so privileged to be able to do, to then fold it into launching Walking in Purpose Unlimited, which is a personal and professional development company working with women and youth, specifically to help them realize their dreams, really grasp the idea of prosperity, and live a healthier life. And they do that by tapping into their purpose, and it really kind of lends to a transformation, which takes all of these possibilities, all of these things they want to do, and move you into a place of unlimited purpose. And it's been all of those experiences. One of the places that I remember most vividly being a part of was when I actually lived in Virginia. I worked at a nonprofit organization there with a group of wonderful young people. I was there getting my master's degree at the time, and while I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to fit working into that schedule, I saw it that it would be a great opportunity to sow back into the lives of young people, and it turned into a position. I was there to teach them, but I actually was the student, because they taught me quite a bit about really grasping your dreams and really doing it. And so I would say, I'm working on this project, let me get some input from you guys. And they would say, okay, but did you finish your homework? Did you write that paper? They were the ones who were kind of helping me along the way, really pushing me forward. And it reminded me of all of the things that my parents sowed into me. It reminded me of those professors who invested in me. It reminded me of friends and just family members who really cheered me on along the way. So I'm grateful. I'm really, really grateful.
That's awesome, Kimberly. Do you offer any products or services that will help individuals overcome life storms?
Absolutely, absolutely. One of the things that, or actually many of the services that we offer through Walking in Purpose Unlimited lead exactly to that. We work with clients who are really ready to make a change in their lives. We offer coaching and mentoring services. We offer consulting for organizations if they're looking for leadership direction to align purpose with practice. We also host live events, which we have some coming up later in the year. And then there's our publication arm, where we offer several books that I've been honored and privileged to co-author, as well as practical workbooks to help people as they're working through the different programs and courses that we offer, to help them really make it a practical kind of choice for them. We give the workbook companions so that they're able to work through those things themselves. And so I am accepting new clients, working with them one-on-one coaching, as well as some group coaching programs that we'll have coming up.
Fantastic. And if individuals are interested in your products and services, what would be the best way for them to contact you?
The best way for them to contact me would be to visit my website That's www.walkinginpurposeunlimited.com. Again, walkinginpurposeunlimited.com. They can also connect with me. I love to stay connected with clients and potential clients, if you will, through Facebook and Twitter. So you can visit me right at Facebook at Walking in Purpose Unlimited. You can just type that in. Or on Twitter, I'm actually at the Inspirista. And I always spell that for people because it's kind of a spin on the barista, if you will.
Yeah.
So it's INSPIRSTA, Inspirista. So they can reach me there. I'm also available on LinkedIn as well, and I'll be launching my YouTube channel within the next month. So all of those are interconnected. Also, if for just direct services, if people are interested in reaching me directly, I can be reached at 215-992-4434, and that is our business line.
Great, great. Now, Kimberly, you mentioned your books. Please tell us about the books that you've written.
Excellent. I always enjoy talking about the books. I'm an avid reader myself, and so even as a reader, I'm always looking for great things to add to my bookshelf. I've been privileged, and I really say privileged and honored, to be able to publish with a great company based out of Kentucky, and through that company, I've been able to co-author a series of empowerment books for women and youth. The women's books are Emotional Wellness for Women, Volume 1, and then the second book is called Learning to Love Yourself, a handbook for African American women. Under our Youth Empowerment series are two books again. It's The Young Man's Guide for Success, which actually was inspired by that group of young people that I just shared with you a few moments ago.
Right.
And then my latest publication is Sister to Sister, a handbook for the African American girl. And I am really proud of all of those books because they really lend something awesome to the readers. They're anthology style books, which means that there are a plethora of topics available in each book. And I always tell people it's the kind of book that you can read in the middle of the night if you're awake. If you're anything like some of us, especially if you're going through a life storm, sometimes you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning, at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you need something to inspire you, to speak to your spirit. Well, you can look up different topics in the book, in any of the books, and you can read about them. There's 25 international authors. I'm one of them in each of the book, people represented from around the world. And so I believe that there's something for everyone in each of the book. The one I highlight for you today is Emotional Wellness for Women. It's interesting because as we talk about that journey, and I mentioned a little earlier about some of the things that are just going on in our world right now. Things are very unstable. Things are very shaky. When we speak to the emotional wellness of a woman, we speak to her health. We speak to just the very thing that's keeping her ticking from day to day. How does she inspire herself? How does she encourage herself? How does she keep herself just going, just in spite of everything that's going on? So I wrote the book, co-authored rather the book Emotional Wellness Volume 1, and there's 3 sets, but I'm a part of Volume 1, and I talk about really the journey of a diamond, if you will.
Okay.
And in that journey, it talks about how a diamond starts off as this sort of ugly piece of coal, if you will, but it goes through this amazing process, and in the end, a beautiful diamond is birthed. So I share with women ways that they can really just embrace their true beauty and see themselves as that beautiful diamond, which means that the diamond has traveled through lots of adversity, lessons learned. It's been chipped. It's been tried in the fire, if you will. But after a process of going through all of those things, you're able to be born or birthed into something beautiful. So it's a story of encouragement, something that gives women practical tools. There's exercises in the book. There's activities. There's affirmation. There are many things to speak to how to really make yourself emotionally whole, or really just grow yourself into being more emotionally whole. And when you're emotionally whole, your life just shifts. It just changes. So it's awesome reading.
Wow, that's outstanding. And you are a very busy woman, I can see. And you are also co-hosting a radio series taking place on the third Monday of every month in Tallahassee, Florida. Tell us about that upcoming radio series.
Yes, it is actually called the Overcoming Life Storms series. It's sponsored and a part of the Discover a New You conference, which is going to be taking place this October, specifically October 11th through the 14th in Orlando, Florida. The series actually launched in July, and each month we are hosting special guests who talk about just that, how to overcome life storms in your business, in your personal life, in your just as you transform. And there's guest experts from literally around the world, people who will be involved in the conference who are sharing on that show. It actually airs Mondays from 1 to 1:30, and we are really, really excited. We've gotten great feedback so far and interviewed wonderful guests who are sharing not only from their business experiences, but they're really sharing from the heart. And through that series, we're actually hosting 6 women. We've actually launched a contest where 6 women will be able to join us in Orlando, and all they have to do is in 25 words or less write why they should be able to come to the conference. So if any of our viewers, any of our listeners are interested in being a part of that, it's 6 women, 25 words or less, and I believe the website to send that to is info@snsproductions.org. So we are looking forward to receiving those inquiries. The conference is going to be awesome. And the speakers who are part of that show, they are really fired up, and they're offering great tidbits before you even get to the conference. So that's exciting in of itself.
Yes, that's something to look forward to in Orlando, Florida. It's going to be at the Reunion Resort from October 11th to the 14th. I also understand you're going to be hosting a workshop there as well. What can the attendees expect at that conference?
Well, it's interesting. A conference called Overcoming Life Storms is just that. They're to serve women and men who will attend as well, to really speak to not only their emotional wholeness, but also their physical wholeness, their financial wholeness. If they're interested in launching a business or they're already a business owner, some tidbits and things that they can use to progress forward with that. So it's a conference that really, I would describe it as really a holistic approach to really giving people that extra oomph that they need. It's in October, which means that there are 2 months left in the year. So there may be some goals, there may be some things that people still need to work on, and it's not too late by the second week of October. You still have a good amount of time to get done what you need to for 2012. So the conference speakers and the host are putting together a fabulous event that will really just speak to all of those things. And I always share with people as they ask me about the conference, it's something that they will not only be able to use for that weekend, but they will be able to use it beyond that. And those are the type of conferences that you want to attend, not just a shot in the arm or a one-time thing, but something that you can really take and use for the months to come and even for the years to come. So we're really excited. One of the sessions that I will be hosting the event, and I'm really looking forward to meeting the rest of the speakers, I'm going to be sharing a lot about purpose. I'm really big on really allowing or showing people how to tap into their own unique purpose. I've kind of ascribed to this concept that was given to me one day, and it really blew my mind. I feel like, and really it's been laid on my heart, that when people tap into their purpose, tap into exactly what it is that they're supposed to be doing, they can't fail. Oftentimes, it's when you're working on things that just don't align with what you're supposed to be doing. You have no interest. You might be gifted. You might be talented in different areas. But truly your purpose, that place where you're really operating in that space that only you can, there's no failure in that. And the sooner we find that out, the sooner, I don't want to say that this world will be a better place per se, but the sooner we find that out, I believe it shifts so many things for us. So I'm looking forward to really sharing some really, really practical kind of tools that people who already know their purpose can kind of take it to the next level, get some fresh ideas and bounce ideas off one another. And for those who haven't quite discovered what that is, to to really get them on a path to help them to go in that direction and really experience what it's like to operate in that type of freedom, knowing that you're doing exactly what it is that you've been called to this earth to do at this very moment. And it's just an amazing thing when you tap into that. It's almost indescribable, actually. And so we hear a lot about that message sometimes in different ways, but it's not a difficult thing. It's something that if we set our hearts and minds to really tap in and get there, it's amazing.
Wow, that's awesome, Kimberly. Now, the event, again, it's going to be from October 11th to the 14th at the Reunion Resort in Orlando, Florida.
Yes.
Now, the scheduled workshop you're scheduled to hold, do you know specifically what date during that retreat is going to be held? I'm
not sure which day the actual workshop. I know that women are coming in Thursday evening for events. I know that there are some events taking place during the day on Friday. And then once we launch into the evening, and then also Saturday workshops, there's lots of different things for people who are attending to tap into. And it's Orlando, Florida. It's close to all of the tourist attractions that are there. So I'm sure there's time for leisure as well. And I don't know, we're in New York. I'm from Philadelphia. October is that month when it transitions. It's starting to get a little cold. We're ready to have jackets on. It's fall and it's beautiful.
Yes.
But Orlando, Florida in October is nice and sunny. So I'm sure that it'll be a nice vacation getaway. I'm sure that groups of women will want to come as a girlfriend getaway. Or if you just need that fall retreat, that break to just come and allow people to pour into you a little bit and really kind of take advantage of the month of October and really kind of getting geared up to get ready for not just to finish off the year, but get ready for 2013 as well.
Are you excited about, I know that you're already excited about the workshop and the retreat in October. Have you been to this retreat before in years past?
I haven't. This is my first opportunity to actually participate in the conference, and I'm really excited about it. I've traveled to Orlando several times before, but to be a part of the energy, to be able to share. And actually just going back to the Overcoming Life Storms radio series, I interviewed one of the speakers, and I was just so inspired by what she was sharing on the show that I'm just anticipating attending some of the workshops myself. It's nothing wrong with the teacher being the student, as I've always been taught. So it'll be a great opportunity, even for me, to learn some new things and connect with people. And because it is Florida, people will be coming from all over the U.S. And I'm excited for those 6 women who will be able to join us too, because that is an opportunity to join us, to intermingle, to be a part of the flow. So I'm hoping that people will really take advantage of those 25 words. It's not a lot of words, but it's 25 words that they should be able to concisely say why should they be a part. And so we're looking forward to receiving those.
Wonderful, wonderful, Kimberly. You brought a book with you, the one called The Emotional Wellness.
Yes. For women, yes.
Tell us more about that book.
Absolutely. One of the things about, again, I was sharing a few moments ago about being emotionally whole is really tapping into several things that just add to that, if you will. The book features several chapters. One of them is called Emotions and the Aging Parent, which is a great issue for many people who are caring for their parents who are now in a position where they're the caregiver versus a parent, of course, caring for you. Another topic is forgiving yourself and others, which is huge because people oftentimes miss out on that message or miss out on the freedom that comes from actually releasing somebody from what they may have done to you or releasing a situation or a circumstance. When you do that, you really get more out of it. It's really for you. So that's forgiveness. Another topic is, or another chapter rather, is charting your life map. And that's really where you set out a course or a map, if you will, for just things that you would like to do in your life, maybe milestones, maybe setting up goals with specific dates. Because oftentimes if you say, oh, one of my goals is that I want to write a book, for example, and that's one of the things that I share with clients that I'm coaching who want to write books. What is your deadline? What is your topic? What is your schedule? When do you want this to go to print? It can't just be enough to say you want to write a book. So those are some of the topics.
All right, great. Now, Kimberly, are you available for speaking engagements and some consultations?
Absolutely, absolutely. I love to speak. I love to travel. I really love to not only share my heart with people, but really show them how to really tap into just some things for themselves, things that they do, because they have a lot of power. So people who are interested in having me come speak at their conference or event can reach me through my website, of course, and that's walkingin purposeunlimited.com. There's a speaker request form there, so you can fill that out. You can also connect with me again through Facebook or LinkedIn, as well as Twitter. I actually receive requests there as well. And then also directly by phone at 215-992-4434.
Great, Kimberly. Well, Kimberly, that's all the time we have right now. I thank you very much for being with us today. And I wish you the best of luck. And I hope that your experience in Orlando, Florida becomes one of those unique experiences for you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me again.
Well, the pleasure is all mine, Kimberly.
Wonderful.
And for all you folks out there, thank you very much for tuning in to our special, and we welcome you back on our next show. Take care and have a good one.
Yes. Yeah, listen up. I want to take your mind back to those days when you really be just me and your girlfriend. You know that period where you dey eye the girl from on a balcony. For your mind, you dey think the stupid things we do to this girl, we probably get our own boyfriend. But you know as it dey be now for the mind of every sharp guy. This pepe must be mine, so you no waste time to colonize our territory. You take your